Good morning, it's Jonathan Barratt with the War Report. That's the week ahead report, where we discuss the up-and-coming features and economic announcements due out this week to see whether or not we can find a little bit of trend or just to give us a little bit of an idea as to what's happening out there. Before we get into that, let's just have a quick look at what happened on Friday night and also on the weekend, because we had quite a lot of data, particularly out of Japan, and that's one might set the tone for some of the week ahead. Just as you can see, retail sales probably rose in November. That's something. Here, China risks to tighten 2011. Inflation does accelerate. That's quite an important thing to note, because a few changes. On Friday, the Bank of China put their reserve rates up by 0.5%. That's currently standing at 18.5%. CPI rose on Saturday, the numbers that came out. CPI rose to 5.1%. That's the largest in about 2 years. PPI 6.1%. Industrial production 13.3%, which is annualised, and food inflation standing about 11.7%. The numbers are certainly up there, there's no doubt about it, but when you've got an economy that's growing at about 13.5% per year, you've got to expect some inflation. One thing to note, it appears that they're not happy about putting interest rates higher. What they will try and do is manage it a different way, and what we feel is that they'll try and manage it through the appreciation of the yuan. I think that's what they're going to get steady to do. Currently, the yuan stands at 6.6556, and it's down just under 0.5% for the week. So we expect that to continue. Okay, so pretty much that's probably the main bit of news that came up. OPEC came out. Basically, they suggested the same thing that we have, that that blip to 90, that was just a blip. There is ample supply over there, and they will address the matter if in fact oil gets to US 100 in terms of quotas, but at the moment I feel that she comes sideways to lower at the moment. Okay, so that's probably what's there. Let's have a look at what is actually coming out today. So let's just grab the trader. There we go. Oh, out this week. I guess the most important thing is this week is a telling week for inflation. Obviously we had that lead from China, and as a result of that, this week we do have a rush of inflation data. I guess really there's not a lot out at the moment, particularly when you look at Monday's trading. Tuesday is where it's all. Tuesday is where it starts to all happen, where we particularly have new dwellings in Australia, NAB business conditions, etc. In Japan, we've got IP, capacity utilisation, and more important, we've got the Tankin report. There's IP, and Tankin report comes down the bottom there. In the States, we've got the start of the inflation numbers, PPI, retail sales, which are all very important. We also in the UK, we've got the CPI, Euro IP, and Germany's ZEW. So Tuesday night's going to be quite a busy night. There's lots on there, but it's certainly not the ticket for the week. That has to come in on Wednesday. Australia, we've got new vehicle motor sales, but in the States, we've got CPI, and of course that'll be the big one. CPI, tick data, IP, and capacity utilisation. They will be the ones to watch. Also ABC consumer confidence on Wednesday. So Wednesday seems to be the big ticket item for the week. Thursday, then we've got Euro CPI following on from the States. We've also then got US housing data, which is pretty normal. Retail sales in the UK, building permits in the States as well. So that'll be watched, but I think the lead will still be Wednesday. And not a lot on Friday, except we do have the leading indicators out of the States. So So if anything, that's going to be quite, obviously the key will be of basically to see whether or not we do have inflation. Well, it would be a nice thing to have, particularly in the States, because that indicates that things are starting to move there. So I think that's what we'd be looking at. Now, in terms of what we're looking at during the week, in terms of some of the trade ideas, what have we currently got on? Well, we do currently have the dollar-yen position. That's something we've had for some time, and it is a trade-in position. We did bounce off from that low, so I'd expect some more yen weakness. That yen weakness to concern, then we head to the top side. The big breaks obviously through 84.50, and we see that, and things look all right. Now, just have a look at this Aussie yen as well. This is quite interesting. It has just been a trend, but when you look at it, for most of 2010, it's just stayed in this very round range. So I think there's an opportunity if it does take out that 82 70 or more safely 83.30, that you could actually see a good move start to occur. Let's just try and get that. Oh, that's a big picture. As you can see, that's what it looks like. But it wants to test the top end of the range, and I think, as you can see, we break through this, then up we go. So quite happy for that to occur. Okay, so that's there. Looking just a quick look at crude and gold, and also the dollar index, because they will be the key leaders. Just looking at crude, failed at the top side of that 90. Indicators suggesting it should come back lower. That is our preferred position. In a range, naturally, top end of the range, failed on through, so should come back to the lower end. That's what we're looking at. Looking at gold, 1382.8. As you can see, indicators all point south. That is something we're looking at as well. Broken through a few things. We did think that we did have the high for the year. We're out by a couple of dollars, but it seems to have come down. Breakthrough 1380. Be careful, because it can be a quick move to the downside. Have a look at the dollar index, and you can see that basically it's behaving. Dips will be supported. That's the current range. Obviously, we're looking for a move up here, and it's something where we sort of continue to support dollar strength, and that's what we're looking for. On the SPY, 47.69, the local market, just seems to be range bound at the moment. Nothing too exciting either way. And let's have a look at a quick chart here. Slowly coming, and there we are. Yeah, it's looking a little bit top here perhaps, but as far as ranges go, it's reaching to the top end. If it does take out 48.05, then that's a good sign, because we'll look for 48.05, then 48.40. Then that's a good sign, because then we can bust out all this consolidation. But given where we are with what's happening, the market will expect tightening out of China. If tightening out of China occurs, the need for natural resource, or as much resource, is probably limited, and as a result of that, you'll probably find that our market should drift lower. Okay, well that's pretty much about it from me. We've gone through a few things, and let's see how the week unfolds. But a lot of interesting data that we can get our teeth into, just so we can see what's happening. You know, the dual economy in the world, what's happening in the West, slow down, what's happening in the East, obviously things continue to rally there. So quite interesting. Have a good week. Good luck in your trading, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.